Hi, and welcome to Rosebud Homestead. I'm sitting here in our trailer at Bryce Canyon National Park, where we have been for a couple of days. I've decided to do our video for Saturday release while sitting right here in our trailer. Jim is kind of down with a leg that is giving him problems, and so we have had lots of time just sitting and enjoying camp, and it has been so wonderful and so relaxing. We just have not felt like going out on our four-wheelers. We had a wonderful bike ride yesterday, but today we're just kind of being here at camp and relaxing. And what this has allowed me to do is something that I ordinarily do not get the time to do, and that is that I have just been out cruising the internet for things on preparedness, trying to get ideas for our channel and looking to see if there is new information out there that I need to be aware of. And I've come across some pretty interesting websites. That there are a lot of websites that say, for instance, the 4 points you need for preparing, or these 10 things you need for preparedness. And I've found community preparedness and all kinds of individual type preparedness for disasters like earthquakes and hurricanes and all different kinds of things. I came across one that I thought had pretty good information, and while I don't 100% embrace everything in the point of view the way that they take it, it gave me some really good opportunity for thinking about things. So our neighbors are driving by in their fancy four-wheelers here. Okay, now it should be quieter. But it caused me to think about some things, which is always a good thing, and I appreciated that opportunity. This one is called, the website is Hello Nature. I know nothing about them. I'm going to put the link below so that you can do additional reading if you care to on this website. And they present the 7 pillars of urban preparedness. So that actually piqued my curiosity, and I quite enjoyed reading through it. It's a short little website. It's 7 things, and a lot of them are very parallel to the things that we present on our channel, but it takes it in a little different direction a time or two, and so I thought it was good. So I'm sharing it with you, and so I'm right here in front of my computer, and I'm going to be putting on my glasses so I can see. I'm going to take us all through these 7 pillars to see what might be of interest to you. Pillar 1 is water. Pillar 2 is shelter. Pillar 3 is fire. Pillar 4 is food. Pillar 5 is signaling and communication. Pillar 6 is medical hygiene. And Pillar 7 is personal safety. Now, I think that this might be from Europe, because some of the measurements they use are metric. So still, I think there's some good ideas here. So let's do these one at a time then. Pillar 1 is water, and they basically take the very same stance that we do in some of our videos, where we have said that for emergency purposes, you're going to want to have 2 gallons of water per person per day for 14 days. So an easy way to do that is to multiply the number of people who are in your household by 28. That's 2 gallons for 2 weeks. So multiply by 28, and you'll come up with a number of gallons that you should have in your emergency water storage, and then some extra as well. So one of the things that I like about what they do is that they present their information, and then below the information they say actionable point. And that is a list of things that you can actually do to get yourself prepared for that particular pillar. And their actionable point was pretty much what I just said. And they want to, they raise some good questions about some things. I'm going to be putting out a little booklet on safe water here pretty soon. And it will also have some of these very same things in it. Pillar 2 is shelter. Now, here's what they say. Thinking in terms of wilderness survival shelter, it would be what resources can be discovered or pulled from the landscape to build a suitable structure to shelter against the elements. Urban preparedness is going to be different. And they are right. I don't usually think about wilderness survival. It may come to that. I don't know. Some of the things that we have prepared would be easily adjustable over to wilderness survival, and there are plenty of YouTube channels that deal with that. But pretty much, in another book that I'm going to be working on here really soon, as suggested by someone I thought was a great idea, is just a general preparedness book. And one of the chapters in that book is going to be Your Home is Your Fortress. And essentially that's what they're talking about right here as well. We want our homes to be fortified with whatever it is we need to survive whatever might come our way. We would only want to leave our homes with threat of death, like in case of flood or fire, that type of thing, to save our own lives. But everything else we would want to be sheltering in place within our homes, where we have all of our preparedness things in place. So they go through some actionable points in terms of extreme weather and what you might need to do. Pillar 3 is fire. And what they mean by fire is not necessarily how to build a campfire, but rather it includes heating and cooking means, as well as fire protection and fire suppression. Now, that really is an important point, this fire suppression. Our property butts up against BLM land, and it's just mostly sagebrush and junipers out there. And so because we are in this extreme drought, fire danger is also extreme. And so we have some things set up that we can mitigate the effects of fire if, in fact, things start to burn around us. And then in terms of emergency heating and emergency cooking, we've done a number of videos on those, so we're right aligned with what they do there. Pillar 4 is food. Well, since food security is one of the things that our channel focuses on, this is right down our alley, and we have presented a number of ways how to preserve food, and including canning, water bath and pressure canning, and then also dehydrating and freeze drying, and then how to package that food for long-term storage or mid-term storage, how to rotate through. We have dozens of videos that deal with this fourth pillar. I was kind of intrigued by their actionable points. Don't forget snacks, they say. It's going to be a stressful time. Comfort snacking can bring a profound sense of relief. Just don't buy 400 bags of chips and nothing with any substance. So there you have it. Then Pillar 5 is signaling and communication. And those have two different meanings, and you can read what they say. But their actionable point, which I think is really a good idea, is to have a plan about how you are going to communicate with friends and loved ones, people that you care about, and then also check on neighbors around you, too. My children, I have 6 children, and they live from coast to coast, literally. I have children in the Pacific Northwest and also family in Washington, D.C. And so it is going to be very stressful if in times of emergency I can't get a hold of those children to make sure that they are okay. So anyway, that's just part of one of my worries about that. But having a communication plan, if cell towers are still intact, we would be doing it by phone or text or messaging. Pillar 6 is medical and hygiene. And of course, we also have talked about this as well, having things in place to your prescriptions or other medical needs for emergency grid down situations when nothing might be available, and then also hygiene. And then we have Pillar 7, which is personal safety. And they, of course, advocate firearms. We don't touch that topic. that's a very personal choice. And just the one thing that we would say, and also echoes what they say, is if you're going to go that route, be sure that you get adequate training, more than adequate, lots of training. There are other things that we can do for personal safety, and that is never put ourselves in a position where our safety is compromised. Don't do that on purpose. If there's a commotion going on, don't run to get into the thick of it. Leave it alone and walk away. Another thing that they suggest, which I had never thought about, is that for personal safety, you have to know, you have to have the type of clothing and gear that preserves your safety when you leave your home and then when you come back from your home, and also so that you don't stand out and become a target. So just quite a few interesting things to think about there. There are so many aspects to being prepared, and it's just impossible to be totally prepared in absolutely every single thing. So focusing on the things that we do, which is food security, emergency preparedness, and self-reliance, those things expanded pretty much incorporate these 7 pillars. But those pillars are a nice metaphor. The pillars are all part of a structure that if you build up those 7 pillars together, then you're going to have a structure that will protect you as much as possible. So I just thought that was kind of an interesting thing for us to think about. It's caused me to think about, since we're up here camping, and I bring enough food for 4 days on a 3-day camp out just to have a little bit extra. But my gosh, what if something happened up here that we would have to shelter in place in our trailer? I have plenty of extra water, but not so much that extra food. So maybe I need to be thinking in those terms as well. So this has been a good thing to pique my curiosity and thinking just a little bit. Hope it has been useful to you. Thank you for joining us, and we appreciate you being with us. In fact, we wish you were with us up here in Bryce. It is lovely up here. So we will see you soon at our very next video.